Starfield is now out for Xbox and PC gamers, and I had the pleasure of playing the early access of the game. With over 30 hours of game time under my belt by the time the official launch of the game had released, I can say that I thoroughly enjoyed my time in this game. What is up, my dwellers of the interwebs? I'm Sorasin, and this is my first impression on the game Starfield. Story-wise, this game does the typical Bethesda intro that slogs along, and there's not much you can do until you get out of it. Basically, you start off as a miner who finds an alien-like artifact, and when touching it, you see all these stars and hear music. When you awake again, you meet a member of the main faction you will be joining called Constellation. You are then tasked with taking the artifact to New Atlantis and starting your exploration journey with Constellation in order to find all the artifacts out there. The main story is also where I found most of my free companions to add to my starship, so make sure to get a couple of them to join you if you like. I especially enjoyed Andrasia's company. She seemed really cool. I would also highly recommend you do the early main quest Into the Unknown, as this quest line will unlock space magic for you. So before you go off on your journey away from the main quest line, just make sure you unlock space magic. Gameplay wise, the game follows a lot of the same Bethesda formula, but this time it's in space. While there are 1,000 planets to explore, a lot of them will be barren and will only have resources on them. When you land on any planet though, the area to explore is large, with the size being apparently larger than the Fallout 4 open world, but you cannot seamlessly traverse the whole planet, and you cannot fly from one planet to the next either. Instead, you will be relying on fast travels and gravity drives to zip around the many star systems. This will come as a disappointment for those who are expecting a No Man's Sky experience, but that's just not what this game is. I personally don't mind and found the space sections where you could control your ship to be fun and engaging, especially when space flight happened. Starfield has also opted for the silent protagonist approach, which is a step back from what Fallout 4 was, but I personally think it's been for the better. As someone who loved the spoken protagonist in Fallout 4, I actually really enjoyed the unspoken version too, especially during live streaming. I get to speak out the replies and conversation dialogue with my companions, so it feels more immersive. The combat is not bad if you ask me. The gunfights are intense and engaging, though I did feel like some mobs felt like bullet sponges and would make you burn through a lot of ammo on them. I enjoyed taking down enemy ships and trying to dock with them and killing everyone on board. I did try to steal one ship, but I was sad to find out I needed more points in piloting in the perk trees. Space combat can be intense too, and sometimes I found myself in sticky situations that felt like I needed to upgrade my ship more, or unlock more ship parts. You can even loot the ship debris after taking a ship down for more items. There's plenty of loot to find from killing enemies and from exploration. I found plenty of legendary guns and spacesuits on my journey so far. Shipbuilding is a new feature, and at first glance it may seem super complicated and confusing. And honestly, I felt that way in the beginning. I also hated how the ship parts wouldn't snap together if they were on a different level from one another. It stressed me out so badly when I was on livestream, until I realized that if you highlight over the joint in the ship part that you want to build on, and then open the ship menu with the hotkey, and then cycle through the ship part menus, you can easily attach a ship part with no fuss. This took me a long time to figure out though, but now that I know how to do this, shipbuilding has become a lot easier. I still find grouping weapons in the flight check menu to still be a weird feature, and it's a shame you can only have 3 types of guns on your ship in total. You can also color your ship and also rename it if you so choose. The perk tree in Starfield is cool. When you put a point into a perk, in order to upgrade it again, you are given challenges to complete, so it gives you more of a reason to invest in that skill point. For example, if you want to upgrade your shotgun skill, you will be tasked to kill 20 people before you can add another point into the shotgun skill, and this challenge will increase as you put more points into your skill. And before you can even get to the next tier in the perk tree, you need to have a certain number of points in the top tier first before you can move on to the next. I personally really enjoy this new perk tree system. It is a lot of fun. Visually, I'd say that Starfield is a a bit lacking. Using what Bethesda calls the Creation Engine 2, the game still suffers from static and weird facial animations in cinematics and stiff bodies too. Also, even if the graphics engine is considered a reworked and new version, it still feels dated, especially in the character models. The graphics of the environment look good, and I love most of the graphics involving scenery, but when it comes to the character models, I wish it was better than what it currently is. That's not to say that the models aren't an improvement. They are most definitely an improvement over Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 character models, but sadly it still seems dated. The audio in the game is fantastic though. I love the soundtrack especially. The musical score of the game is gorgeous. All the music the game has sounds great. As for the sound effects, I only noticed one time I think where the audio went a bit funny, and it was when the cutscene changed scenes. The effects and the music just stopped for a few seconds rather abruptly, and then it suddenly continued. It was jarring, but it was only the one time I experienced something like that. Overall, the music and the sound effects are definitely on point though. Overall, I'd say that Starfield is a great game with a fun and exciting adventure to be told. But with all Bethesda games, the best point is not the main story, but you making your own story. Doing what you want from the side quests and faction quests, and exploring the world to find things out there of interest to you. Of course, you should do the main story eventually, especially in Starfield since there is a new Game Plus mode, which is something not seen in their older games. So the replayability is there, and I'm all for it. Unfortunately, I know that the lack of exploration in terms of space flying and a lack of seamless world exploration will turn off some people, but I still believe that if you are a lover of Bethesda games and their formula, you should enjoy the Starfield experience. So there you have it. That's my first impression on the game Starfield. Thank you for watching. I'm Sorasin. Have a fantastic day. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed my content, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all my upcoming videos. And if you're watching this on TapTap.io or on the TapTap app, I hope you'll consider following my profile as well. Bye bye!